A big welcome to you all, a big shout out to you all. Um, guys, share this with everyone, guys, share this with everyone. Let me know if you can hear us. Let me know if you can hear us. If you can hear us, just let me know in the comments. Guys, the moment is here. The moment is here. The moment we've all been waiting for. I've told you we are having a guest today, and he's a registered nurse. He's from Zimbabwe. I'm so excited. I'm so excited when us as immigrants occupy certain spaces, occupy, I mean, certain pathways, guys. I get excited, and today I am excited to be hosting my brother Tinashe Nyangari. He's in Ireland. He moved not too long ago, but recently, a few years ago. You'll hear from him how he did it, when he did it, what the whole process involved. I'm just waiting so that I can just add him on here. I'm just waiting. Tag your friends, guys. I'm just waiting for him to come on, and so that I can add him. My brother Tinashe Nyangari. I'm just waiting for you to, so that I can add you, and then we can kick the ball rolling. As you all know, guys, on this platform, we do talk about life in the diaspora, opportunities for growth. And if you yourself have got a story that you want to share, have moved to the diaspora using a certain pathway, reach out to us, and then we can share your story here. We can share with others here, because we believe in growth as a unit, as a community, as a whole, guys. I'm just waiting for my brother so that I can add him on here, and then we can have this conversation rolling. Prepare your questions and pop in your questions in the comments so that we can actually get him to reply to them. I am excited about this one, because I mean, so many people have been reaching out to us and say, since the changes to the UK care visa, where people working in certain care codes, especially the healthcare route, no code 6145, are no longer allowed to bring dependents. So people have been looking at different pathways. And I know for a country like Zimbabwe, which is where I come from, a lot of registered nurses haven't been in a position. It hasn't been easy for them to move to certain countries, because at the moment the ministry is not issuing verification letters, which is one of the requirements that one would require if they are to join or register with the NMC. I'm just waiting for my brother to come on here, my brother Tinashe Nyangari. I'm just waiting for him to come on here, and I can add him, and then we can have this conversation. So guys, continue to tag your friends, share this live in so many groups. We want this information, these opportunities to reach as many people as we can. Mike Tatipa is saying we need steps for NMBI registration, please. Absolutely, we're going to hear from him, the whole process, how he did it, how people are doing it, because now lately I've seen a few people who have actually moved to Ireland and they're registered nurses. So I've been wondering, I've been thinking long and hard to say, how are they doing it considering the circumstances in our country? So I reached out to my brother Tinashe Nyangari, and he said, well, I'm so happy to be on board. And also, guys, if you're on this platform, go to his platform and also follow him. He shares a lot about these opportunities, guys. I cannot even begin, guys. I cannot even start. We're just waiting for Tinashe Nyangari to come on here. We're waiting for him to come, and now we add him. So one of the things that prompted me to say I'll reach out to him is the fact that we all know the challenges, we all know the predicament, we all know the circumstances in our country where people are right. A request for Ed. I've sent you a request. I'm excited for this one. So I'm just waiting for him to come on here, guys, and we can kick the ball rolling. I don't want to preempt this conversation. Hi, Mkomatinashe.
Hi, how are you, Flo? How are you?
I'm good. I'm good, Mkoma Makati, and I'm so excited to be having you on this platform. I'm honored. I'm humbled, because I know how busy you are. I know, I know how much of a busy person you are as a father, as a husband, and as a professional as well, and as a student. So to get you on here, it's it's an honor, and I'm honored.
No, that's fine. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. I'm also honored to be on your platform. Hoping that whatever that we are going to share is going to benefit some of the compatriots who may be intending to join the journey. It may not be easy, but it's easy when it's shared.
Oh,
So I'm just trying, this weather is changing up and down. So I've been trying to join using my laptop. I want to see if it can, but if not, we can just continue on the phone. If are you viewing me like, clearly, or maybe the video is shading?
it's a bit shady, but we can see you. It's a bit shady, but we can see you. So I'll give you just a few minutes for you to try and see if you can. I don't know if you can go on the laptop, but stay here as well. Stay on the phone so that if you can't on the laptop, then we stay here without you coming offline, if that's all right.
No, okay, that's fine. No problem. That's not an issue. That's
And
okay.
guys, while we are waiting for Mkoma Tinashe, can you tag your friends? Can you share this in so many platforms? And if you haven't followed Tinashe Nyangari on Facebook, please do so. There's a wealthy information there. Also, do go on YouTube. It's Tinashe Nyangari as well. We'll also put his handles on here. He shares a lot of valuable information about moving to Ireland. It's really from red list countries. It's really from, where we come from. So do go and follow him on Facebook and also subscribe. He shares a lot of, where we come from. So do go and follow him. I think we've just lost him there. We'll still try. We'll still continue to try because of the weather. Let me invite him again. Because of the weather, guys, it's just a mess. But we will get this going. Tag your friends, share with your friends, because we are about to learn. We are about to change lives. We are about to impact our community through information sharing, through giving hope, as we continue to share about opportunities. Welcome
Yeah, so
back.
I just decided to exit the other one because it was on the laptop, so it was now giving echoes. I'll basically continue on the phone.
And it's actually
Um,
clearer now. It's actually clearer now on the phone as well.
that's okay, no problem.
Right. Guys, thank you so much for joining us and thank you so much for sharing. Today, I've got my brother here, Tinashe Nyangari. He's Zimbabwean, he's African, and he's a global citizen. I love global citizens. And he relocated to the Republic of Ireland as a registered nurse and other things that he will explain. I will not preempt, and this time I'll give you Koma Tinashe, a chance to introduce yourself professionally and personally, whatever is comfortable for you, but for everyone, our followers, to have an idea of who you are as a professional and as a person as well, so that we can get it going.
Okay, no, that's fine. I won't go much, but what I would say is my name is Tinashe. Like already said, I'm here working as a staff nurse, a nurse to general nurse in the Republic of Ireland. Currently, I'm practicing in orthopedics, but in Zim. I've been working in the deep down in the rural areas, like in the districts like Kwekwe, Materially in other lives. So I trained those who know me. I trained at Mpilo. That's where I did my general nursing. Then I did my midwifery in Gweru. I did my OC safety with NASA. But I never practiced, as an occupational health nurse. But I just did that because I wanted to be an industrial nurse. But I'm mentioning this because we have different paths, and some of it can assist someone when they are now trying to maneuver within their career, because things like in this life, they change anytime. So if you glue yourself to one aspect, you may realize that the moment when your qualifications are required, you'll be redundant. So I did my midwifery, then I practiced midwifery, I think, for about 5 years. Then from the 5 years, I then started applying for community health and administration. Then I did that. Completed. When I was doing my community health, I then discovered that I was still a bit young, and that profession now, I was now thinking to say, okay, am I going to survive in this arena? Then I then registered with the University of South Africa to start my BA in nursing science, and I did BA curative. I completed it in 2019, 2017, 2018, yeah, 2019. That's when I completed. But now when I was still within, I started applying again for jobs, because you remember that's the time when Zimbabwe, it was faced with a bit of situations. There's some point when we were charged, by the government, takambodzingwa basa, at some point, because of the hardships tanga dziripo. So after that, then I decided to say I need to look for a job. I started going to the NGO sector. I got a job in an NGO sector as a coordinator. Then I ended up being a technical officer in one of the NGOs in Zimbabwe. Then I left that job again. I started another one at another NGO. But anyway, going to the issue that we want to discuss now, my idea, like, I wanted to move. So the only way to move from Zimbabwe or from any other country, like for example Zambia, it's for you to get the funds to fund the process, because it's not as easy if you do not have the funding to say, okay, like for example, when you're starting the process with the NIMBY, you require a lot of money. And looking at the background, I had done a bit of diplomas in Zimbabwe. I was obliged to go to all those schools of training and pay for my transcript, pay for my diploma, pay for my transcript, pay for their fees to process your paper. So you all need funds to do that. So basically, that's my background, and I moved here more than 2 years ago, and I would say it's a place that I wouldn't say it's very hard to stay. It's okay. The culture shock is not as much. Yes, it's expected. Of course, the weather can be crooked at some point, but it's not something that you can say it can impede you from moving. So maybe today our discussion is going to be a bit different, in the pathway that people are now using could be different from the way we came ourselves. So one thing, maybe before we dive in much, one thing that I want to tell people is that it's not one size fits all in all this.
Yes.
But the only thing that can makes it one size fits all is the qualification that you have. If you are a nurse, you're a nurse.
Absolutely.
So here it doesn't matter whether you're a tutor, whether you're a nurse manager, whether you are what or what, you all follow the same pathway. You all follow the general nurses pathway, because our qualification frameworks in Africa and the qualification frameworks here, they are different. Like, I'll give you a good example with all the qualifications that I possess. When I applied for my further education, like now, I've applied for my PhD and MSc in orthopedics. What they will do is they will give you a qualification at level 9. But if you take your qualification, like for example, from university, from other, I wouldn't want to mention the universities because they can think maybe we are downgrading them. But the frameworks here, they are a bit different from the frameworks in Africa. It's the way it is. But now you'll be having that chance to upgrade yourself. Then you move towards the direction that you may want. So, like I said, it's not one size fits all. These things, they are seasonal. When you want to move to wherever you want to go, it's all seasonal. Even if you want to move today to an NGO, it's seasonal. You may find that it's a time when they've got a grant. So if they have a grant, take the shot, don't hesitate. The moment you hesitate, they close it down. So I take you 2 years back, or 2 to 3 years back, when we did the process ourselves. agents, they were on top of us, like looking for us day in, day out. Some people, they took over a year for them to process papers. But you can find someone who actually took less than 6 months, they were already moving. Because during the time when they applied and they did their papers, it was prime time. The government had poured money to the agents for them to recruit from other countries. However, in our discussion, we have to highlight that Zambia, Zimbabwe, we are now under the red list zone.
Yes, absolutely. And I even highlighted on the description to say we are red listed, but we want to talk about it because people are trickling into Ireland. People are coming in one by one. I can see I'm seeing people going in, and we will talk about that.
Yes. So being in that red list zone, it doesn't mean that we are there permanently. Yes. So it's one thing that one has to put at the back of his or her mind to say, we may be there now, but we are not there. We may not be there permanently, or we may be there for a prolonged time.
Yes.
But that does not stop you from doing your paperwork. So one thing, maybe for nothing, that I would want to say is it's self-directed. If you rely more on people who will be telling you that, oh, it's difficult, it cannot be done. At times it will be difficult for sure, because where you are seeking the information, you are seeking from people who are trying to, to do the PhD syndrome, the pull him down syndrome, pull her down syndrome. Not everyone is happy with you, like, saying you are moving with your career. But my belief is that information shared, it would have, like, given you all the blessings to progress in your life. Even if I've seen, like, pataiita isusu mapepa wanzi kuti ina nditaure nezvandiri kuda kuita because panozoita monitoring spirits and whatsoever. I've heard about that. Yes, the monitoring spirits could be there, but I'm now receiving a call. Okay, just a second. I'll take this call from the other end. I'm coming back in a second.
All right. Guys, continue to share this live because, guys, as you have all heard from Tinashe, I'm trying to see if I can mute him. No, I can't.
That's why just after this line. Okay, I'll call you. Yeah, so I'm back now. Right. So wait. Any questions from the comment section?
Yes, there's one person who is so serious and they just went straight away. They want to know the registration process with the NMB. Yeah.
Okay. I'm also seeing Brian is watching. Hi, Brian. How are you? Brian was my good guy. He's my workmate. Yeah.
Okay.
We worked together.
That's good.
In some life back. Yeah. So the thing is, the NMBI process, it's one way. There's only one thing that you have to do if you want to move. Just go to the NIMBY website. It's NMBI. I'll put it in the comment section. That's NMBI. That's the NMBI website. So if you go on the NMBI website, okay. But before going on the NMBI website, there's one thing that you need to do. Make sure you are supposed to get your transcript, get your diplomas from the Nurses Council, from the schools of training. Because the moment you open, the day you register yourself on NMBI, they consider it as day one for you on the website.
Okay.
So that way, that information which you would have put like on that website, it takes, I think, 2 years. If you surpass 2 years while you are doing the process, it expires. So that's the reason why I'm saying you may not need to create that account before you actually gather your documents. So the good thing is if you go on NMBI, let me see if it allows us what I want to, I don't want to leave this website.
I've got a question. Oh, Kumatinasheva, he's come off the slide because he's trying to log on the NMBI website. So obviously it logged him out. We're going to see if he gets back here, and then we can guys put in the question in the comments. Put in all your questions in the comments so that we can. I know one of the questions I was about to ask him was the fact that, like, does one pay? Because I'm not a nurse myself. I'm trying to see if he gets back. So put in the questions in the comments, and then he can answer. We want to get as much information as we can. There he goes.
Right. Sorry, my apologies. I haven't been on so many lives, so I've been trying.
That's
So
all
I've been.
right.
So you see the link that I've put in the comment section, the registration and application forms. So if you click on those forms, that's not the NIMBY website, but that's the link that they've put on their page. You can go there, download the forms. So you will see there's one form. Like Cleopatra is asking, apart from the transcript and diploma, is the verification needed too? We'll get to the verification issue because it's a bond of contention. Let's take it step by step.
Yeah.
So those application forms, if you click on it, you'll be able to download the application form. You'll be able to download the form that you require for your employer, the employment form. So those are the two forms that you would require from there. So what you will do is you take your diploma for your educational qualifications. You take your diploma, your registration certificate, and you take your practicing certificate, put them together. Then they're supposed to be notarized, not police certification, but notarize those documents, right? Then when you notarize the documents, put them aside. It doesn't matter the day when you've notarized the documents. Then you take the form that you take to the employer. I will give you a good example. There are people who are working, vanoshanda kuma NGOs. Vanoshanda kuma NGOs havasi muclinical area. Saka haikona kuzoita mistake yekuti practice that you are doing in the NGO, you then include it pa-employment form rako. Because it can make you fall short of the hours that you are required and that you would have said, this is where I'm working. Saka, just keep it in the clinical area, medical, surgical, renal, wherever you want to major in. Then if you take those forms, if you give the schools now they know because they've done this for a lot of people, right?
Yeah.
So if you do and you get those forms and that you notarize them, like I said, then when you are now uploading, you start uploading those documents one by one, but you will not be able to upload the transcript as it is because there are specific MBPs that they require. The specific they need specific sizes, like in terms of the transcript, the diplomas and whatsoever. So you may need to reduce the size. So for you to reduce the size, you just go online. It's a free application that you just use to reduce that document into the required size. So when you reduce it and upload it, everything, when you are still uploading, there are questions that are asked there. You are a non-EU citizen, so don't mention that you're an EU citizen. If you mention that you're an EU citizen, you should say so you are a non-EU citizen and then you declare everything correctly. There's no chance of duping the system. Then when you have uploaded, you are done. That's when now it will require you to pay the 350 euro.
Tinashe, I'll pause you. Tinashe, on the documents that we said we need to, you said one is their diploma, their transcript, and their practicing certificate. I'll ask, because I'm not a nurse, but I'll ask this question because I'm sure maybe someone is wanting to ask. When you say practicing certificate, is that the verification, or it's something that nurses get after training? It's not the...
Every nurse, for them to practice, they are supposed to have a practicing certificate.
Oh, perfect.
So you get it every year.
All right.
It's renewed every year, yeah.
All right.
So
can you list the requirements, the required documents? Because we have got people in there who wants, directly to say 1, 2, 3. Can you list the 3 documents yourself and say these are the documents that you need to submit to the school, and then those are the documents that you upload? Can you just give us a quick 1, 2, 3?
Yeah. So that's fine. Thank you. So the list of the documents is actually there on the NMBI. They required whatever that you require. It will actually give you questions to say, now
absolutely.
you can upload your passport. Now you can upload your general. Now you can add your employment. Now you can add what? But I'll give a good example for someone who does not have a post basic. Let's say a person is just a general nurse. So if you are just a general nurse, what you would require from the school is just the employment, the what do you call it, the educational form, and you need the transcript, and you need the syllabus. So those 3 things are the ones that you are going to get from the school. And then to your employer, the employer has to give you the employment form. So the employment form is to testify that you've been working from this date and you are working up to this date. And then when you are done, there is another form that you get later, which is supposed to be having corresponding dates from the ones that you have submitted to NMBI. And that those forms, they are given to your HR. And your HR has to say, good, this person has been getting so much money, and this person has been employed from here up to here. So that one is easy. We don't want to be confused with that now.
Yeah.
But the issue is gathering of the documents is critical, and uploading my proper documents is also critical, because that drives you to get a decision later.
Okay.
So the thing is, when you upload the practice certificates, the process will continue even without your verification letter.
Okay.
So when the process continues even without your verification letter, some may upload the verification letter, then it expires along the way. The process will just continue. So if the process continues and then they will require the verification letter, we'll discuss about the matrix of how you can dupe the system, or understand how to maneuver for you to be granted access to NMBI PIN. So now you have uploaded everything, you are done. We are saying you are just coming on your own. You are self-sponsored. You are not looking at any agent. You are on your own.
Yes.
So what you need to do is, if you have uploaded, done, the NMBI will then look into all those papers or documents that you have uploaded. Then they will be communicating with you through your email to say, there are these documents. We may need a verification of whatever that you have uploaded, and then you respond. Then when you apply for your verification, they now know that Zimbabwe is having issues like in getting the verification letter. That information is in public domain, even to the NMBI, because there are people who have suffered through it. So what you now need to do is, like I mentioned, the €350, right? So the €350, you pay it upon submission of documents. Mm-hmm. It's non-refundable. Then when you pay that amount, the €350, you now wait for your decision letter. So your decision letter is the one that is going to give you access to look for a job, 1, 2, write the aptitude test, or look for an employer who is going to employ you based on adaptation period. So I've mentioned 2 pathways: 1, aptitude; 2, adaptation. Mm-hmm. So simply because we are under the red list, we are allowed to come here on our own to write the examinations. So the visa that you're going to get, you are going to get a student visa.
Wow.
which could be given for about 6 months. So that visa that you are going to get is just for the purposes of you coming to write an exam. So you don't need to apply for that visa when you are not ready to come. So the day when you click the button to say, I want now to follow NMBI, and I want to put my papers on NMBI, it means you must be having sleepless nights of the things that you would want to do. I have seen people here. I've been taking people through RCSI aptitude for a long time. With others, like I'll mention them, like Mr. Mpembe, they've been our mentors. Sister Sovala, they've been our mentors. Those guys, they've mentored a lot of people to come here. If you can follow them, you follow them as well, and you may get their numbers, and they'll be able to assist you even with the aptitude preparation. So here zvatinoita kuno Island, it's a matter of kutambidzana. It's a matter of kuti, if you know something, you know people whom you can share with. Because I have seen tutors, I have seen people who have been on higher positions. Ego here does not pay. It will make you fail, because you are going to be asked to complete 14 stations. In the 14 sessions that you are supposed to complete, they are practical sessions. So those practical sessions, it's not something that is out of this world. You will be just asked to do the observations that you are supposed to be doing as a nurse. You are just supposed to go to do the IPC station. But the way we do the infection prevention control station ourselves, in Zimbabwe, we don't do those stations. But here they want to look at, they want to assess the nurse they are taking to see whether this person is going to adjust to the European environment, which he or she hasn't been exposed. And that does not necessarily mean that we are not good. That does not mean that we are not perfect in terms of our skills. We could be perfect, but remember, you are coming to an Irish environment which you haven't been exposed to. The accent is even vexing you. When they say water, you don't even understand the word water when they mention it themselves. Even up to now, there are some dialects that we even ask, what did you say? And there are some dialects as well that they even ask from us to say, what did you say? Us who were British, like schooled. For them, like their English, it's more the Irish side. So it will be very difficult to understand the accent. But you can only get to understand these things when you mix with others. So the only way you would mix with others is to get the information, but get it from the right people. I'm not saying they're not toxic people. We can be very toxic as Zimbabweans. But what I want to assure you, just focus on what you want to do. Like, the reason why I gave my background is for people to understand that I also passed the aptitude. 14 stations at once, I never repeated. But people who were even in the medical ward, they failed some of the stations and repeated, right? But the reason why we passed is every day of my life, I think I did aptitude for more than a year, trying to practice aptitude up until I mastered the concepts. So the moment you register on NMBI, you now have to go on the RCSI website. So the RCSI website is there to guide you now on the things that you are required to fulfill for you to get a PIN. So I will put it in the comment section, the RCSI website, after this live. And then people will start, like, just reading through. But reading through that website is not enough. Because I'll give you a good example. You are just asked, like, you are getting in an infection control station. They'll tell you that, can you please go through the IPC station? Tell me about what were the questions, by the way? They were just like, can you please demonstrate how to put on the PPE? The way you put on the PPE yourself in the ward where you are working is different from the way it is there on the website. So it will take you more than 10 to 20 times repeating the same thing with others for you to master it. So if you are done with that RCSI website and you are sure that you can go and do the stations, that is when I advise you to start looking for bookings. It's not a matter of you just getting a flight to Ireland and you say you are going to pass. There are people who have gone back to Zimbabwe after failing, even during the time of the agents. When the agencies were still recruiting from here, there are people who went home because they failed. And that time it was sponsorship. But for now, for the guys who still want to move, you are supposed to pay the RCSI exam on your own. And the fees, it's 2,800 euro. You can get it on the websites, it's there. That fees, if you fail, you are given the first chance and second chance, you are done. Let me just grab the clothes. It's now raining again. You see this way.
Bring them in.
I'm
Guys,
coming back.
guys, if you are a nurse, if you're a nurse, you're from Zimbabwe, you're from Africa, you're from a red list country, up to this stage, if you're Zimbabwean, we haven't really dealt with the Nurses Council. From what I heard from Kumatinashe, you haven't really got to that point where you need verification. These are some of the things I tagged, I think, in one of the posts that I put out to say, you could be a nurse and you're in the UK, you came as a carer. Honestly, Ireland is like, I don't know, maybe you pay maybe £50 or £100 to go to Ireland and back for you to do these exams. Kumatinashe, I have a question for you. I have a
Go
question
ahead.
for you that I want you to answer it with a yes or a no as an option. I've been hearing questions of nurses who came to the UK as carers, and from what you said, the fact that one can actually go to Ireland and write that aptitude test and maybe go back or wait for the results, is that even an option? Suppose one came to the UK on a care visa, and we know definitely the system here for you to register with the NMC is totally different. They need that Nurses Council verification from Zimbabwe. Is that even an
So
option for one to do?
it is, it is an option.
Okay, we'll talk
Um,
about that. I just wanted a yes or no, so we'll talk about that, and I'll allow you to continue.
that's fine. It is. So, sorry, I've been talking about the preparedness. The
Yes,
reason why I've been mentioning
preparation.
these things, like, it's all about being prepared. Do not rush. You are not in a hurry. If you come into this business of being in a hurry for anything that you are doing, especially for movement, you tend to face issues. So I will separate the two. There's adaptation, there's aptitude. But for you to get an adaptation place, you are supposed to have, like, fulfilled all the criteria, the diplomas, you get the decision letter. Then you apply to a hospital. If you apply to a hospital and it's offering adaptation, they will make you apply for a visa. Then you are not obliged to pay the 2,800 euro for the visa. You are just coming here, you are given 6 weeks for you to prove that you are worthy to be employed.
Mm.
So there are tricks there. One who is coming for the aptitude is only coming to do the test today and tomorrow for 2 days. First day is theory, second day is practical, they are done. On the third day, they can actually get their PIN if they pass. Then if they pass and they are on that visa, the 6 months, if it's 6 months, if they've been given 6 months on the visa, that person is now able to go to an employer and say, I now have a PIN. Do you mind employing me, or you want to employ me? They can put, if they are employing during that particular time, you can get employment even before you go back to Zimbabwe.
Oh, yeah.
So there are a lot of people who did not return to Zimbabwe for them to come back again because they would have gotten the jobs.
Oh.
But they are vakatodzokera back vakazodzoka kuZimbabwe because they were told, no, you can start maybe in April, in May, when they have written maybe in February, March. But when you have secured the employment, it's easy for you now to what? To return back the money, maybe or you have saved on your own, you'll be able to return back the money. But if you come also prepared, you will fail. After failing, you are now having stress. And with that stress that you'll be having, it's not as the time when we came here. We had groups ourselves that were packed like this. People like competing to present in those groups. But for now, it's different. So it being different, it's a matter of you picking who is doing the process now. If you understand that this person is doing the process now and we are going together, better for you to move as a group. If you move as an individual, I tell you, you fail. But however, information, not everyone is on this page. Some they didn't even get the information. There are some people who then realized after arriving in Ireland that they were supposed to practice. And then they will be given time for them to repeat. I've seen people whom we assisted and they have passed. After failing more than 10 to 14 stations. Then after passing, then they get their PIN, they get their job. But for us, when we came here knowing that I'm going to work at a particular hospital. So after passing, they'll just tell you orientation is there, done, they reimburse you the money, they do what. But now it's a different story altogether. It's self-sponsorship. Hence, I don't take it lightly because it's a lot of money. If we want to calculate right now, you've paid the 350 for the NIMBY process. After the 350, you are supposed to pay for the flights. And when you are buying the flights, the tickets for this visa, you are supposed to be having a return flight.
That's true.
They don't accept that visa, because your visa is supposed to be returned. But when we came ourselves, it was a one-way because I'm having another call. Okay, so after that, so sorry, I've declined it. I'll respond to it after the video. So the thing is, okay, that's fine. 2 seconds. Let me respond to her. Then she will continue calling.
Guys, keep the questions coming. Thank you so much, Cleopatra Shiromo. Thank you so much, and I do wish you all the best. I also am writing down questions that I want Comrade Sinashe to answer lastly, because we would love to know if there's any groups that he knows where people can actually go into. Guys, this is an opportunity. Guys, this is a chance of a lifetime. And I do believe for those that are risk takers like myself, you can actually just do risk. And, we all know our situations. We all know where we come from. We all know how things are like at the minute. So it's dependent on you as a person. The only thing that I loved about this whole process is the fact that we're actually doing away with that whole nursing council thing. I love the Zimbabwe Nurses Council. I love my country. I love everything that they're trying to do. But at the same time, when it comes to life, I treat it as a personal journey, as what can I say? As something that is individualistic. You know your circumstances. You know your goals in life, and if this is for you, guys, this is the information, this is the pathway. And maybe while we wait from Comrade Sinashe, one of the things that I want to emphasize is once you decide this is what you want to do, time frame you set to yourself. Comrade Sinashe, welcome back.
Oh, thanks. My apologies that keeping on receiving calls and doing what, you are a parent, you are doing business, you're doing what. So things will be on your take. Cleopatra is asking to say roughly how long does it take to prepare for the exams? Cleopatra, this question is very difficult. However, like I said, exams you're supposed to prepare the day when you click on the NMBI website to put your documents there. You are supposed to start preparing for the exams.
Do you know what I'm thinking? Do you know what I'm thinking, Comrade Sinashe? I think if somebody is a nurse and they're on this platform, already it means it's on your mind to say, I would love to move abroad. Start practicing now. You lose nothing. While you're gathering your documents, once, 2 times a week, instead of people going and watching those lives that we know people love to watch where there's nothing there. Do go and practice. I mean, you're a professional. We do not expect a whole nurse to want to spend 6 months, 1 year, 2 years doing those things. Start now. Start chasing the right information. Start going to platforms where you can actually get influence. One of the things that we encourage people to do is find those groups and get into those groups. Even now, before you get the 350 euro to register, before you do documents, we want prepared people that prepare. Over to you, Comrade Sinashe.
So one thing that I want to tell you is, we are in the ladies' profession. I have to appreciate that. That is why you always see me when I get a free space, I start to maneuver myself, start to do other things. There's nothing that is sinister as someone who will tell you that, oh, I'm finding it hard, I'm finding it very difficult. Of course, ladies, they may have like, these altercations. But what I would say is avoid friends, but get associates. Because the moment you get into this thing as friends, you tend to break everything and it will go haywire. There are people whom you can just associate for the purpose of starting.
Yes.
And then when you have joined those platforms, you will realize that some people may not respond to you, but keep putting whatever information that you want from there. Keep asking questions. I've
Absolutely.
joined people like I have two groups that I created, I think about 2-3 years back. The Island Online system, the Island Online extension. When we came here ourselves, it was paper-based initially, but it was transitioned to the online system. It was another thing which was very difficult for people to acclimatize to it. So I made an initiative to say, let me create a group so that we can be assisting each other within that group. So Petronella is saying, is there any group, that one can join of those who want to relocate? Petronella, I think I communicated with you somewhere. I don't know, but I don't know if it's the same Petronella, but I've sent a link, I think from one of the videos that I did for the Island Online and the Island Online extension. But people, they are not communicating in that platform. They will be very quiet. So for us, we are not going to be bothered like to come and say something in those platforms. It's up to you to keep asking. If you keep asking and you put about 10-20 questions in there, at times when we open those groups, we can respond. And there are also other
Absolutely.
people in those platforms who have migrated about a year or 2 years ago. So don't forget I will post the links on this
Oh,
platform. What I would
thank
want
you.
you to do is, when you get into that platform, ask for people who are doing the process now. And then you yourself create a group to make those people join into your platform. Then you use it for your own good. The reason why I created platforms myself, I want to testify to you. Myself, I left bedside long time ago. I was doing my midwifery and whatsoever. I went to community, I went into HIV programming and whatsoever.
Mhm.
So I lost touch with whatever was happening in the world. But the only way I could manage to canvas for information is to create groups, start initiating myself to say, guys, let's do this tomorrow. Who wants to present? As they are presenting, I'm
I'm
gaining confidence.
learning. Yes, absolutely.
They are
Absolutely.
presenting and gaining confidence. So do not be afraid of being tainted to say, maybe he or she doesn't know this. It doesn't matter. What matters is the fact that you have to gain your momentum yourself as an individual. This
Oh,
life
yeah.
is yours. It's not for anybody else.
Oh, yeah, 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 absolutely. Thank you
So,
so much for saying that, Mukoma Tinashe, because a lot of people, they shy away from participating, they shy away from asking questions. And as such, you're not doing yourself any good. Thank you so much for encouraging, especially ladies, Zimbabwean ladies, African ladies, normalize asking questions. We are past that stage. When we do ask questions, we do away with judgment because we begin to interact, we begin to communicate and share information. So thanks so much for saying that. You can go ahead.
right. So, I've talked about the RCSI,
Mhm.
the aptitude one. I've talked about the NMBI. So there's a time when you may be asked to say your verification is now required. So when your verification is now required, some people, after writing, that's when maybe they would say verification is required. We cannot give you the PIN because you don't have a verification. You are supposed to be having a paper trail of you pestering the Nurses Council to release your verification. So when I'm saying you're supposed to have a paper trail, you should have a habit of sending emails.
Oh,
to
yeah.
Nurses Council. I have applied for my verification in such a particular time. I'm kindly making a follow-up. If they don't respond, make a phone call. Then after making that phone call, you print everything, including those phone calls and whatsoever, and the emails that you have been sending, trying to follow up for that process. Then you attach, you send it to NMPI. Then some, they've been asked to say, can you just go to a solicitor? And then a solicitor will write to say you are in good standing. Because the issue there is for you to be in good standing. That's why they want the verification.
So
There's some people.
absolutely, Mkomatinashe. In this case, just to try and enlighten people and to boost people's confidence and hope. Basically, what we are saying when people are required to have a verification from the Nurses Council, it's basically more of a character reference in pertaining to your professionalism and how you have been maybe conducting your work as a nurse. Basically, because if a solicitor can actually vouch for you and it's acceptable, then it means it's more of a professional character reference.
Right. So there's one thing that I have to mention there. They want to see, because there are a lot of things that can happen within the profession. You may have had issues with the way you have been working, maybe wakamboenda mumaboard of inquiry because of not performing well or what. They would want to know that. But the fix is, if you know that you are not in good state, don't lie.
Yes.
Because the moment you lie to the solicitor and then the solicitor vouch for you to say this person is in good standing, then you get a pin. It will come a time when Nurses Council will release your verification. When they release your verification, now in your verification, it will be stated that this person stored drugs at such particular time, or this person did this medical legal hazard. So you'll be scratched from NMBI and you'll be scratched from NCZ.
And career is over.
Yes, it will be done. So the only way you could do it is to do it in good faith. Then there's another category. There's a person who might be working outside Zimbabwe. Maybe they're in Swaziland, they're in South Africa, they are anywhere else, like even in the UK, but they are working as a KR. You're not supposed to lie that you're working as a nurse in the UK. Mention it that I moved to the UK as a healthcare assistant, but I'm trained as a nurse. When I was working in Zimbabwe, I ended up working in Zimbabwe like a year ago. So that's a career gap that you'll be having. So that career gap is not going to affect you if you pass your aptitude or even if you pass your adaptation. So you can come here, write your exam, go back to the UK. It's near here. And you go there to the UK, then you wait up until you get a job. Then when you are now looking for a job, you have to be very, very careful. Because there are some facilities where you have passed the aptitude, but they would want you to continue with the adaptation even after passing aptitude. So you can have 2 years of terror. And it's a fact, I have to mention it. There are people who have faced a lot of stressors simply because when they moved, they did not get the information. Some have even changed the hospitals where they have been working. One thing you have to know, if you look at our skin, we are dark-skinned, we are black. And you can find yourself in a situation where you are the only one in the ward. And when you are the only one in the ward, there will be other nationalities like the Philippines, there could be Indians, and the Irish, I want to tell you, they are not much. They are not many. You can find maybe 5 Irish people, then you get 10 Indians, then you get 1 Zimbabwean. So what does it mean? It means the other group, it's a native. You cannot take away from them that there could be things that could happen, like discrimination or whatsoever. It can happen. So if you are doing adaptation, it's very tough and tricky for you. Because the moment you don't please, like I told you, this is a women's profession. The moment I come in front of you and you see me, I have my dreadlocks, then you say, this Rastafarian. So already that person is on your way or is in your way. And you can find your 6 weeks so traumatizing.
Absolutely.
So there are people who have come here, they did adaptation, they failed. Majority, they failed. So myself, I would advise, if you get an opportunity to do aptitude, just do aptitude. Because with aptitude, you'll be just faced with your assessor, the two of you. Then you do your station, you're out of it. You go for the next station, you're out of it. You go to the next station up until you finish the 14 stations in a day. Then you are done. Then if you pass, you now go to the ward. Research of where you are going to be placed. Because at times you are going to start realizing new things. You are now realizing there is a lot of drama happening because people will be busy. And yourself, you said you're a nurse, 10 years experience and whatsoever. So you are now going into a ward where you don't even know how to operate an ECG machine. You don't even know how to operate a pump. So what does it mean? Acclimatize yourself before you get into that system. So when you acclimatize yourself now, learn to hold on to yourself. Don't divulge much because you are coming into a foreign system. So if you divulge much, people will be judging you against what you have told them. So at times, just follow and learn to see kuti anogona kundibetsera ndeupi. So if that person auri kuona anogona kubetsera ndeuyu, just follow that person bit by bit, and then you learn how the system is going. After 2 months, you'll be up to standard. You are okay. So that group that I've been talking about outside Zimbabwe, those people with their verification from other nurses councils, like for example Swaziland, Namibia, they can do the process done, and then they do the solicitor way after writing their exam. Then they get the job. And also island guys, it's not for the faint-hearted. It cannot be over 2 weeks, never. You expect to have more time while you are preparing, then you'll be able to move. So I think I've talked much. Maybe if there is anyone with questions or maybe things that they want to know or that they want me to verify, I may have skipped a lot of things, but it pays more if I respond to questions, if the listeners could be having questions.
Okay,
Cleopatra is saying, okay, what is the acceptable score? Right. So, Cleopatra, with the scores, IELTS and OET, it can be, it's all English test, and it's required. So, for you not to be swayed by anyone, just go right now as I'm speaking, just go on, just type NMBI, and then you type the English requirements. You actually see the OET and the IELTS scores that they require. But during our time, the English test, it was being asked for when you have already written your exam. Then they will ask for the English test, they verify, and they give you the PIN. So the English test, they don't even ask for your results. They ask for you actually give, like myself, I did OET. They give you you give NMBI access to your OET portal, and then they verify on their own. So at what point is the English results needed? So like I said, is it Petronella? The English results, usually they are asked for when you are done with the exam. So isusu patakatonyora we were facing issues dzekuti you start by writing English and you think that's the thing that will actually make you be eligible to go, of which it was wrong. You could even do the process without even writing OET. So you can start by writing your OET, but the dangers now of starting to write the OET, it expires as well. So you may, yeah. So I've seen even people who, after passing, they'll have their results expired for some time. Some were given a waiver, but now they are now asking you to write again.
Oh yeah, one of the things I want also to share with our viewers is to say the diaspora journey, the life abroad journey, especially well, for whatever reasons, is a patience game, is a patience journey, whereby I think, to be fair, give yourself a year to 2 years of devotion, of commitment to one particular pathway. I've shared this time and again on my platform to say it took me nearly like a year and a half. It took me 1 year to gather all the documents, and then maybe nearly half, maybe I think 6 months, 8 months to start applying and getting the process done. So this is just to answer maybe one of those people who ask to say, so how long does the whole process take? Give yourself 2 years. Two
That's
years
fine.
of
So
serious
while this
commitment.
they are asking the questions, let me just grab my laptop. Then I will be taking the links and then just pinning them in the comment section there.
Oh yes, do so, do some comment action, because we want people to have information. We want people to pursue these things with all the information, guys. And guys, one of the things that I'm so excited for nurses, especially in red list countries, is to say there is actually a way. So it's not up to you for you to maximize on this. It's actually up to you for you to, to prioritize this as a gateway for you to get out of whatever situation that you feel, okay, I think I now need to pursue the diaspora journey. I now need to pursue the diaspora journey. Guys, Ireland is an option. Ireland is an option for nurses. You could be in the UK. I know a lot of people came to the UK as senior care assistants, as healthcare assistants, as support workers, but back home they were registered nurses. Now this is an option, and now I know, because we just work extra shifts, get that money that's required, and get the process going. Just commit to sleepless nights, study for your aptitude test, and get this ball rolling. This could change your life. I know you're going to be pinning uh, links on this platform. I don't know whether you want me to ask you this one now, or you want me to
No,
leave it for
you can
later.
fine. You can ask questions now. I will be able
There's
to
something I
respond if I.
picked when you were getting calls and everything. You said, you know what, as a father, as a business person, and as a student as well. You mentioned something about you doing your master's in something, something.
Oh, okay. Oh, that one.
I'm not wanting you to go into details now. People will go to your platform and they will follow and they will realize what you're doing, because I already know. But one of the questions I want to ask is it worth it for somebody to pursue higher education once they're in the diaspora? Because I'm in the UK, I'm a carer, and I've just been thinking and wanting to say, is pursuing tertiary education an option? What made you want to pursue tertiary education?
Yeah. So the thing is, like I told you, um, when we are working, myself, I wouldn't want to retire, doing all this hard work and all that kind of stuff.
Mhm.
I would rather create my safe haven for retirement while least I'm able to do so.
Uh-huh.
It may be lucrative now when you are going for night duty, you get extra money. You go on weekend shift, you get extra money. By the way, we didn't talk about the salaries, but
Yes, you can.
it's
When you're ready, finish that one about
okay.
your
That's
future
fine.
plans and and then you can speak about salaries and how, how it's
Okay,
an option.
that's fine. I think it's something that people also should be prepared for, just to know what to expect and what you can get, and you can decide whether I should move or I shouldn't. So, like the educational pathway, I'll tell you one thing. Education is, if you have chosen like these careers, like you want to work because you have gone to school and did 1 2 3 4, the only way to move out of this hard labor is for you to be marketable.
Ah,
So you can only be marketable. Like I tell you, when we came here ourselves, we came as like we're called staff nurses, right? Then
mhm.
you as staff nurse, and then they take your work experience, whatever that you have before. Then they make you fill in forms and whatsoever. Then you become an enhanced general nurse. So when you are now an enhanced general nurse, you have more experience. So, like with that experience now, they give you a top-notch salary, like at the end of the year. For example, you can get, for example, up to maybe 50 something thousand euro per year.
Oh, when I grow up, I want to be a nurse, and I want to work in Ireland because I don't think that happens
No,
in the UK.
no, it can happen. It all depends. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just telling you because this is in the public domain. I'm mentioning it because it's in the public domain.
Well,
Um,
yes, it could be in the public domain, but you know us, you know our people. They don't talk about things, they don't share things. And thank you so much for sharing, because these are some of the things that can encourage people. These can actually serve as, I don't know, prompters for people to say, okay, just sacrifice now, and this is where you can actually get. So thank you so much for doing that.
So the thing is, you balance. Here, the system that has been put, it's very tricky. You can get that top-notch salary, like 50 something per year, but remember the taxman is also on the door. They will also take their money. And the other thing is, you also get paid bi-weekly, every 2 weeks,
Mhm.
every 2 weeks they pay you. So you don't get like a salary like at the end of the month. Yes, there are some employers who pay people maybe after a month, but in the government where we are working, we get our salaries twice weekly. So with
Mhm.
your education now, what you do is if you proceed with your education, then you get a specialist area where you'll be like called to say, okay, you can come and do this, you can come and do this, you can come and do this. So just imagine yourself being called. Like I'll give a good example. Let's say maybe you are a tissue viability nurse, you are just specializing on seeing the wounds, bandage them and whatsoever, provide services where they are required. You are not someone who is going to be working overnight. You are not going to be working during the weekends. Of course, if you look it on salary wise, you may be saying maybe you are no longer getting the Sundays that you are paid.
Mhm.
But not every Sunday you are going to be going to work. And the night shift again, imagine when you are now in your 50s, 60s, and you are still going on night shift and you are still pushing. And I tell you, here you work.
Yeah, very
Yeah.
true.
If you are someone who you are not like well oriented, you may not like it within a short space of time because you'll be working very hard and we work long days here. We work from 8 o'clock up to 8 o'clock in the evening. So those we have long shifts. But with those long shifts now, you just work 3 days in a week, then you have 4 days off. Then when you are working night shift, you are going to work from Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Then you are off from Friday up to the next Friday. You start another night again from Friday up to Monday, depending with where you are. But you actually have time to yourself. So when you realize that, so there is another jinx which comes when you start getting maybe shifts. You are now maybe on stem 4 and you are now getting shifts. You may choose to be going for shifts and then don't choose to go for your what for your educational like pathway to advance it and make yourself lucrative to the system. If you are now lucrative to the system, you may get a better opportunity, and that opportunity can take you out of the mud that you are in. Let's say, for example, you are now going to a notch of about 60 something per year. So if you're now going to something like 60 something a year, it doesn't even matter even if you don't go on night shift, even if you don't go on Sunday shift.
No,
So
Kovac,
that's the reason why,
thank you
yes.
so much for saying that. Why? I'm in a lot of groups and platforms. where people have been asking, is it wise for me to go and study in Namibia? Is it wise for me to go and start nursing in Poland? Guys, you've had those salaries for yourself. And one of the things as well that I want to thank you for mentioning all those salaries versus education. I've always said, while in the diaspora, there is no bigger thief of time and opportunities than this whole second job, third job, or overtime. It's stealing away time that we could just sacrifice for a year or two into our education, like what you're doing, Komatinache, and saying, oh, I'm not making money in these 2 years because I'm studying towards my master's. But after my master's, I'm now in that zone, the big money zone, the well consultative zone, whereby you get an email to say, okay, come to such and such a hospital, there's a wound, grade whatsoever, and you have to come and look at it. And then you hear, I work in the hospital, and you hear, the tissue viability nurse is coming on such and such a day. Please make sure you're there. Such da, 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 da. Power of education. Thank you so much for bringing that in.
Yeah. So yes, so has been asking to be added.
To be
She has been
added.
asking,
Can I add
will it
that?
be easy? Yeah, you can. Then Cleopatra has been asking to say, will it be easy to relocate with one's family? Right. So Cleopatra, relocating with family, it's doable. We are here, myself and my wife. We are all working in the HSC. Uh, the issue is one of you has to come in first. And then when they come in, they're the ones who are going to prepare for everything. Like to say accommodation and whatsoever. Accommodation here is a big challenge, very, very big challenge. So when you come here, you can come and then your spouse will come in as a joining spouse using the spousal visa.
Mhm.
And then when they come in with the spousal visa, it's easy for them to get a job anyway. So I'm seeing Yezo is joined. Maybe she wants to ask something.
Hi, Florence, and hi, Kumatinashi. Hope you guys are good. Thank you so much for the program. I just joined like now, and here is my question. Maybe I might have missed what you have already said or explained, but I would really appreciate it if you could maybe explain it more once again. And here is my question. So, Inini Mkumatinashi and Flo, I'm an EU trained nurse,
Wow.
and yes, I studied Bachelor's of Science in Nursing here in Poland, a 3-year degree. I might have missed your live with Rachel Denere, but then I will have to go through it again. But for now, I'm also interested in relocating to Ireland. What I really want to know is how best can I do this? And maybe if you can open maybe a WhatsApp group or maybe be an agent and we pay. I know not everything is for free. I'm eager to pay. I
Yeah,
have everything required, but
let's talk to
chakunetsa kuti topinda say the
hold on,
requirements.
Hold
Yezo.
on, Hazel. Komatinache vakupindura.
Hold on
Havasi
that one.
kutaura ipapo vari kunzvenga.
No.
It's
The
because
issue
it's
is,
because what we do before Mkoma Tinashe, I pass it over to you because what we do, and I talk to Mkoma Tinashe, I'm privileged and I'm honored for that. One of the things that we are trying to do is to say information should be free.
Yes.
Information should be free because
Mm-hmm.
what we want to achieve is have as many people move to these countries because whether you has will come or
Mm-hmm.
not, someone from Pakistan will come, someone from Philippines will come and occupy that space. So
True.
what we do and what we are about on these platforms, especially me, I'll speak for myself, is we want to spread information, we want to spread positivity, and we do not want a situation where you say, I paid through Flow's platform or I paid through so, and
Mm-hmm.
then things don't go accordingly. So if you do go on the lives that we do share, if you go on Komat Nash's YouTube, his Facebook, he shares information. It's best to just follow all those things, but I'll give Komat Nash a chance to answer you as well.
so
Appreciate it, Flo.
so one thing that I want to tell you, I won't take away from what Folo has said. There are a lot of people who have been scammed just for applying a visa. Last week, there is a friend who was telling me that do you have agents who do the visa application? Then I said, come on, bruh. How can you be asking of an agent to apply for a visa? And that person, was charging 7,000 rands. A thing that I just sent him a link to say, this is the link that you need to the INSCI. You don't even need to send someone. So what they will do is they will scam you of that money. Then they go straight to the website. They will be asking you for documents, asking you for the documents from you, and they will be uploading for you. And it's as good as
basically you're applying. Basically, what
yeah.
you're doing is you've paid, but you're applying because
Yes,
they're asking, give us this, give us that. So you're going through the whole application process with them.
exactly. So I don't want to speak on behalf of other people. There could be other people who may say maybe for aptitude you can give us something or what, it's up to you.
Uh-huh.
But myself, the advice that I give you is, like for yourself, you are in the EU, you are EU trained. Your
Yes,
pathway is very easy. Yes, so
very easy and very clear.
what you just need to do is go on the NMBI website. Myself, I'm not be ready to be like responding to everything, but I will add you to the online system group. It's not as expensive as all that. What you just need to do is you'll be just asking from there to say, guys, this is the form that I'm having. I want to complete it. You realize yourself, yes, sir, before you even know it, NMBI would have issued you with a decision letter. And then from there, you send me your CV if you've got experience. I have
Yeah.
got, I don't know.
No, thank you so much. Oh, sorry, Mukamatinash.
So I was telling you yesterday to say you don't need to pay anyone. Myself, I think I've assisted more than 300 to 500 people, I don't know, who came here, who were doing this for free. We don't charge anyone any cent. And I don't want
Yes.
anyone to be saying we are on these platforms because of what. What we are doing is, if you go to my YouTube page, right, it's just a small page. I discovered that I have lost enough time, which I could have used just to upload every station that people have been doing. If I had uploaded those stations, you could actually be one of my business partners tomorrow. If you make money yourself tomorrow and I'm selling chickens in Zimbabwe, are you not going to buy the chickens from me? Why
No,
should
I
I charge,
will.
why should I charge you for things that you know? We have got a problem as Africans because what
Especially
we
as
want to do
Zimbabweans.
is we want to swindle people of their hard-earned cash because we think that we have the information and we can't share. But there's also an attack which comes to the people who will be sharing the information, but we don't care to say, why are they sharing this information? Why are they doing 1, 2, 3, 4? There are people who have been here for the past 20 years or 30 years. But it's what they want not to share with you. What you should do is I will share the WhatsApp link for the online system and the online extension system. What you need to do is just go on the NMBI website now. When
Okay.
you go on the NMBI website, go to your university, wherever you trained, and then get the papers as they are required by NMBI. Pay the 350 which is required by NMBI, and wait for them to give you a decision letter.
To
Now,
respond back.
just recently, they announced that they've opened for employment, right?
Wow.
Meaning to say, after the budget, there could be adverts that will be coming in.
Yeah.
So if you are logging in on Indeed, you are logging in on irishjobs.ie, on hse.ie, you get the jobs as they are and apply on your own. And I've seen people have the time. You pay people so much money to create CVs for you. I have so many CVs on my laptop. I think if I had the audacity, I could show you. I have edited so many CVs for people, but it's only that now I'm busy doing other things. It's just a matter of looking at the person's experience and what you're having. And why are we having phobia in Zimbabwe to be going online? Now people who are in Zimbabwe, you will see them, they are on pages. Some we know each other by names. And You will see them, they are on pages. There are people who are shouting at each other, doing what? You have got a different genre altogether. Those
No, I
people,
hear you.
they are enjoying their life while it's on TikTok and whatsoever. Why are you not TikToking with your CV? If you go on TikTok
True.
today, you will find someone who is telling you about CV editing. If you go on my YouTube video today and ask me to say, do you want me to show you how to edit in CV? I will do it on a video. I will post it. What I just want you to do is to view that video and whatsoever done.
Okay. Yeah, yeah,
Then that
true.
way, what it fosters is, don't be too quick to love money. Don't be too quick to think of paying someone. If you bring that to people, they will be tempted to charge you. And you will be charged even to create an NMBI account, which you are going to pay 350 on your own. Visa application, you are going to pay on your own, but a person takes your money. Anyway, I was attacked on Facebook some other time when someone posted on a forum to say I'm assisting people to come to Ireland and whatsoever. And I challenged that person to say, can you please send me the company where you are taking the people? And I know 2 people who fell to that scammer, and they were taking the money taken from them. Because here, if you go to Noah Healthcare, if you are a carer, you go to Noah Healthcare today and you are in Zimbabwe and Zambia, try to upload your CV. You will realize that it will reject because it blocked those 2 countries because they are red listed. So how can someone come here and say they are going to assist you to get a job to Noah? How are they going to do it? So you see, because you will be thinking you are desperate, you would rather keep that 250 you are going to give that person. And anohoda huku ofita huku idzodzo wodzitengesa, and you are able to pay the 350 NMBI straightforward, other
Thank you
than
so
giving
much.
me money. Sorry, now ndazotaurisa that topic
No, thank you so
wasasingait
much.
because there are
Yeah.
people who have lost money because of this game.
Thank you
Chinzo
so thank
Mkomatinash.
you so
Thank you
much
so
for
much.
answering that. And
Mm.
one of the things that I'm going to do, Hazel, I'm going to have
Yes,
to
it's
drop
okay.
you so that we can keep Mkoma Tinashe
Yes.
going.
No,
One of
thank
the
you so
things
much. Mm-hmm.
I've added you because you've been so lucky and very, very fortunate. I love you, and inbox me, please, Tita, because there's a lot of people, Hazel, if you're listening, there's a lot of people who want to go to Poland. So I'm looking forward to talking to you. I'm looking forward to having a chat with you about how you did it and everything else. I'm so looking forward to that. Mkoma Tinashe, thank you so much for speaking out about scammers, about people that give people false hope, and the fact that there are some things that people can actually do on their own. I shared on my Facebook page to say I've been scammed before. That's why I love to do things on my own. That's why I love to bring people so that people can explain to people and people go for these opportunities. Thank you so much for saying it. Mkoma Tinashe, I think well, one of the questions have been answered, but I'll just go through a list of the things that I was writing down. Rosalind, after this live, please go and watch this live again because it's been said. The whole process, the whole everything has been said. And specifically, we were talking about nurses, registered nurses, whether you trained in Zimbabwe or you trained in other countries or you trained here in the EU, which means in Europe, basically, and you want to move to Ireland, it's been said. One of the things that I also want to ask you and encourage you guys, if you're watching us today or if you're going to watch this video, go and follow Mkoma Tinashe on his Facebook page. It's Tinashe Nyangari. Go on YouTube, subscribe to his page, watch his videos, Tinashe Nyangari on YouTube. And there on YouTube, let's paste up Tinashe Nyangari with questions so that he can keep on doing videos that can answer our questions, address the questions that we have. Let's push him because he's so busy. Sometimes he doesn't feel the need because we do not ask questions in the comments. So when you come on these platforms, when you go on his platform on YouTube, ask questions. I also have got a very small YouTube that I've started, and I continue to share these things because one of the reasons why I've gone to YouTube is because there are things that we can't share here on Facebook because you know how Facebook can be. There's a lot of people who are quite vocal, quite discouraging here. So some of these things we're having to do them on YouTube where we just give information and people consume, and it's more safer that way. So go and subscribe. It's Florence Msekiwa on YouTube as well. We are going to be uploading videos in detail, videos about the UK, how to come to the UK, about care work. A lot of people are struggling. We are going into detail, explaining, sharing. A lot of people are struggling with switches. I switched from domiciliary to the NHS. I'm going to be sharing everything. I'm going to be sharing my experience as well, and all the other plans and all the other things that I'm learning along the way. Tinashe, you have been uploading stuff. Do you feel there's anything that you need to explain to people about Ireland? Because I know you mentioned about groups. You're going to give us links in the comments. We want people to get help. We want people to move to Ireland. It's an option. It's where people can actually move with their dependents. Because a lot of people are giving up because they can't bring Anababa, they can't bring their children, and it breaks people's hearts. Mkuma Tinash, I had a question. This whole education thing that you're doing, is it self-funded or you're being funded?
So thanks for that question. The thing is, for this program that I'm doing, it's wholly funded by the system.
Oh.
It's only a matter of myself producing my proposal to say this is what I want to do, and then the HSE will be so eager to fund that, and funding is there for you to go to school, but not everyone wants to embark on that journey. You may realize that panogonoita vanhu 2 or 3 muchitori pa same facility, but even yourself. So people, they will be like, people, they are busy. People, they've relocated with different
Agendas,
agendas and whatsoever. So it's up to you as an individual to take the advice that you have been given, or things that you have asked and got some responses. Like you see, like Chinoda is asking, is it possible to relocate? It is possible. It might not be possible if you think it's not possible, but it's very, very possible if you look in the right direction. Then you were talking about the funding issue. You can actually get funding for the whole program. Then next year, when you want to proceed with another program, you can get another funding. It can be partly funding and whatsoever. But if the facility sees it necessary and you have written a proposal to them to say, this is what you want to do, they'll give you the funding. So they will actually give you the funding and say, okay, the funding is there, go to school. But what they want is, after you have been funded, they would require I will show you. Okay, let me see if I can show you this. Okay. Okay, I'll hold here. So you see, I don't know if it's visible. Let's see. So you see, that's a funding. You see funding approval on top there. You see on top of the screen.
Yeah.
You see that
Yeah.
approval?
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, I'm not showing you the body, but
yes, yeah. GDPR. They'll be
so
coming. Zimbabweans will
that's
be
a
coming
funding
for you,
approval.
and they'll be talking about data protection and stuff. They love to. Whenever someone is sharing, Zimbabweans love to go, oh, your relatives back home are calling you. Guys, we are professional. We are very, very particular about some of these things, and we will not stop sharing with our communities. We will not stop being the difference makers to whoever wants a difference in their life through sharing information, because we've been blessed so that we can be a blessing to others. And Mkoma Tinashe, I cannot thank you enough. For sharing explicitly like that, for sharing in an encouraging way like that. Not so many people do that. And thank you so much for saying that. Chichi is asking, Chichi, all the questions you've asked have been answered by Mkoma Tinashe before. It's very possible. What I want you to do is go back when we come off this live, please go and watch it. Please, guys, if you're nurses, share these lives, share these platforms, guys. These things, we are not saying we are the best. We are not saying we are experts, but we are learning and we want to learn with you. We are sharing and growing and we want to grow with you. And there's no better way of finding out information than through having conversations, through engaging with people who've done that journey before, who are on that journey and pathway. Guys, the things that I'm seeing on Mkoma Tinashe's YouTube, Mkoma Tinashe's page, and it's us, you and me, who are watching here, who can push Mkoma Tinashe to have more time for these things, more time for sharing this information when we go there and pester him with questions.
Yeah, so what I'll do for those who want, I'll also do another video when I get space. I'll just do the one using the StreamYard, just trying to show people step by step on the NMBI process and the things that you need to input there, and also how to make sure that your documents, they are following the specified requirements. So I'll do another video on that, but it might not be today because there are other things coming in. But you're also free to ask questions, lads. And my inbox, I usually respond to people anyway if I have the time. And my digits or my page, it's not something that is hidden. It's something that is in the public domain.
Public domain.
Oh yeah. And it's not about toxicity. It's not
Yes.
about, there are other things that we do in the background. But when it comes to professional, like the professional practice, let's just practice the way we would want to practice and would want to be treated. And what I would say is, the sky is the limit.
Oh, absolutely.
If you are still in Zimbabwe and you still want to move to Europe, there are a lot of things that you need to consider. Consider where you are, consider what you are getting, consider opportunities around you, consider opportunities in that same Europe where you want to go.
Yes, absolutely.
I tell you, when I came here myself, I was actually imagining the streets that I had already checked on YouTube to say this is where I'm going and this is where I would want to stay. So I had done my research. So after doing the research, it actually gave me a clear picture of where I would want to go and what I would want to get. Guys, there's one thing that I want to tell you. Not everything that you see that is glittering is gold. People, they face a lot of stress here in Europe, but they won't mention it because when they left you, they told you that we are now leaving you wherever you are and we are going to the greener pasture. It's not always green. I'll give you a rough idea. Rentals here, they are very expensive. You need to be very careful of what you would be doing. When you see more jobs being flighted, it means there are people who have left from those places, and you are going there to plug the holes from those areas. So you will realize that there are areas where rentals like 2 bedrooms, 3 bedrooms, they'll be going for 1,500 euros per month, up to 2,000 euros per month. 4-bedroom house could go up to 2,000 euros per month. So how much will you be getting? So there's one thing that you have to know. Nursing homes, they don't pay the same as the HSC here. They are pay, you can check online. Their pays and whatsoever, they are different. They've got their own advantages, they've got their own disadvantages. So it's up to you now to look into them, and then you get to know the money that you're going to be getting. There are single mothers, there are single fathers who may opt to take this journey. Please do not sell your property, especially non-movable assets like houses, for you to migrate. You may not be able to replace those things. This I tell you. Because if you sell your house today, for you to be able to construct that house the same way you had done before, unless you have got 2 or more houses. That's when you can do that, you see. But if you have got the funding, try to save bit by bit whilst you are doing the process. You never know. This process can actually be opened at any given time to say, now it's open. We are now employing from Zimbabwe. So you would rather save your money than be in your own direction, not to create so many credits that will haunt you when you have what? When you have migrated. Then the other thing is, when you are a nurse, you are a critical support. You are already wanted somewhere else where you want. So the only thing that you can do, just go back to whatever that you are doing. And then when you go back there, try to push yourself towards the critical component, the critical aspect which is required in your profession.
Yes,
I see people,
absolutely.
they are pushed because of information that is not even verified. Like to say, if you do, for example, if you do midwifery, you've got a better chance of being what, if being what. I'll tell you, there are people who just did an ambulance certificate and whatsoever, and they are living pretty because she's a nurse, she's working in critical care, and she's able to operate an ambulance and whatsoever in emergency issues. So that person will be it will be very easy for you to get a job, maybe at Mars or at another company. Then use that money now to push for your relocation. You can even go to America straight. Some of us, we cannot move now because we are already here, and our children, they've acclimatized with the environment here. So we are not going to be moving anytime. But our eyes, they are in Zimbabwe. Our eyes do not be fooled by TikTok, do not be fooled by Facebook. Tinoyamba takaisa mafirita edu takadini. Yes, we want you to perceive us as people who are doing very well. Yeah.
Yeah.
But what I want to tell you, moving abroad, it's all about you amassing the wealth that you would want. That's the reason why the Europeans moved from Europe during that era to Africa, because they were seeing opportunities in Africa. And they went to Africa and amassed that money and took it back to Europe. That's how they developed this Europe. So as Zimbabweans, we should develop a mindset of saying, if I'm moving, I'm not moving the whole Tinashe to Europe and I'm forgetting from wherever I'm coming. I'll give you a set example. People who are in Ukraine, did they even know that they were going to be displaced at any given time? There were Zimbabweans there. But right now, they've been displaced from there. They're supposed to go back to Zimbabwe. Saka ngatirege kushainirana hama dzadiwa, ngatirege kufunga kuti aiwa, what we do is better than what the next person could do. Just do what you can and do it right. So guys, I think we have stayed much here, Flo. It's around what time now?
It's around 3:30. This was supposed to last an hour, but you know me, and I'm so sorry for taking so much of your time. Guys, my prayer, my hope is to continue to bring Mkoma Tinashe whenever we need him, guys. But it won't pass it up now, Matt. And one of the things that we can do is when we go and flood and subscribe on his YouTube. And when we go there, let's be asking questions, guys. I know one of the things that I always love to say is, guys, let's spend our time wisely. When we go online, let's make sure we are spending our time on the things that will change our lives. And guys, there's no better way than to pursue information, than to pursue pathways. I did a live yesterday where I said we had money, but we didn't have information. When you have information, you look for money. You can have money and not have information. You never go anywhere. You never achieve anything. But when you have information, you can look for money and you can pursue what you now know in your head. Thank you so much, Mkoma Tinashe. Thank you so much for all the information. Thank you so much for giving us hope, encouraging us, and making us believe that it is possible. And I know you will continue to be flooded with questions. And thank you so much for helping those people that will flood your platforms, will flood you and bother you with questions. If we have any questions, we now know you are just a click away, where we just click on your channel, text you. Guys, continue to follow him on Facebook. subscribe to his YouTube channel. Guys, like I said, continue to follow me as well. Guys, thank you so much for your support and love. Go and subscribe to my YouTube channel, because the whole point is we want to share information. We want information to reach everyone. One of the things, before I end, I promise you I'm ending. One of the things that we haven't done for the longest is, as Zimbabweans, we are not sharing such information on YouTube. Do you know, when you want information on migrating to Canada, America, Australia, you go on YouTube, you have to watch a Nigerian. You go on YouTube, you have to watch a Kenyan, a Ghanaian. So guys, go there, go and support us. We want to share. We want information to reach as many people as we can. That's the drive. Those are the conversations I've been having with Mukoma Tinashe. I was like, Mukoma Tinashe, why are you online? Why are you on the internet? And he was like, I want to spread the word. I want our people to find information. I want our people to know, when you have information, you have everything. Mukoma Tinashe, a farewell word to our people.
Oh, that's fine. Thanks, Flo, and thanks for opening this. I haven't been doing my live. I don't know. I've been so skeptical, just clicking the live buttons. But thank you for those who have tuned in. I'm seeing what's her name? Is it Christabel? She wanted to ask a question. Christabel, you can ask your question. So, guys, just as a recap of what we have discussed here, we have discussed a lot of issues. It's still possible to migrate to Ireland. But it's now different from the way we migrated ourselves during our time. I'm getting confused. What you are saying is that we must not encourage people to come here or what? No, Christabel, I'm not saying that. This discussion started from long back. I'm not discouraging anyone from coming, but I'm saying, if you are coming, you have to make sure that you just open your path and make sure you don't do shortcuts. Make sure you don't create confusion for yourself. So, as a way of recapping, I will say this, Christabel. It's still possible to migrate, and it's very possible. The only difference is that it's now a bit expensive to migrate. The expense is coming on. The 350 for the NMBI, it has always been there. And that one, we cannot say it's an extra cost. The RCSI aptitude exam, which is pegged at, I think, 2,800 euro, if it hasn't changed, you can check on the website. I will share the link when we end this live for the RCSI website, where you see the amount that you are required to pay. So that 2,800 euro, it's on you, because it's now self-sponsorship. So Redlist zone, it's not it's just a measure which has been put by WHO after realizing that Ireland and other countries in the EU, they were getting people to work here and from countries that also have need of those employees. Like, you see, COVID, it hit every country, like all the countries, they were affected by COVID. But when they were affected by COVID, the employment rates and whatsoever in all countries, it was rife. But the safest region to get employers, it was Africa. Because in Africa, the salaries that people are getting, they do not meet the salaries that people are getting in Europe. So it will be very easy to get my employees from those countries. So they had to put a red list. So after putting the red list, it simply means a country cannot actively recruit. So when you are talking about active recruitment is done by the agents. And the agents, when they are doing active recruitment, they flight an advert. But for now, you are not seeing adverts coming from this country or from UK, simply because they are under red list. If they do that, they face heavy fines from WHO. But however, employers are allowed to employ people who would have voluntarily applied to them to say, I am applying to work in your company voluntarily, not to say good, it's the country Zimbabwe which is sending you here. That is why you still see people, they are still coming to Ireland, they are still going to the UK, right? So the only issue is, we mentioned about like verification and we talked about how you can surpass or how you can manage kudini kusamiswa with the issue of verification. yatati isusu you need to have a paper trail yekuti uri kuita sei, uri kuita follow up verification yako, because tikatarisa constitutionally it's your right to get a verification, but simply because the rules of the country ndeyekuti the verification is not being released as fast as you would want. But however, the NMBI inozviziva kuti the verification harisi kubuda, saka they may ask you to get confirmation from a solicitor or from a lawyer to say kuti okay, this person is in good standing, this is what he or she is testifying in front of me, and then they will give you a decision letter based on that. When they give you a decision letter based on that, you are now supposed to book the examination for yourself or to look for an employer who is going to give you adaptation. Adaptation is when you come and then you will be seconded to a hospital for 6 weeks, which is employing you. They will be paying you, but the money they will be paying you, it's not that of a registered nurse, but it's that of a student. Then when you get that money, 6 weeks down the line, you can pass. If you pass, they send that, no, this person has passed. And then you get your NMBI PIN. You are now employed permanently from that employer. And you are now eligible to apply for your critical skills work permit. And that will start from the day when you have applied for it and it has been approved, which can take about 2 weeks. Then when you have that critical skills work permit, it can take you up to 6 months for you to be able to join with your family, because you'll be still looking for better accommodation, you'll be still looking for you'll be still trying to save money for the flights and all that kind of stuff. Then your family can join you, and you'll also be having probation time from the time when you have passed your adaptation. And you can also be charged during adaptation, during probation time, when you fail to meet the requirements that are, when you fail to meet the requirements from that particular institution. They can tell you that this person is dangerous. This person has been like giving wrong medication, has been doing 1, 2, 3, 4, and they can check you from the hospital. And then you are not struck off the register, but it will be very difficult for you now to get another job, right? Then we have talked about that RCSI, and you will be coming here with a flight which is a return flight. When we came ourselves, it was a one-way flight. So now you are now coming on a return flight, meaning to say you have to buy in and out, like a visit. So when you are buying in and out, it means your price will be high.
Oh, yeah.
So if your price is high, it's even adding to the amount that I've talked about, the 350, the 2.8, the upkeep money, and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And you also need someone to talk to say, can I come and stay at your house? While least you are doing your papers. Because if you don't do that, then you will be liable to pay the rentals. That's why I said it's very important to link with others and know where people are staying. And that will be easy for you to get maybe free accommodation for that particular time. Because wangopinda munomu, everything that you'll be doing, it's out of your pocket.
Oh,
Saka,
yes.
the money that you are using now as a person who is coming, it's more. That is why I was saying that you need to be very careful. I've only explained this because Christabel had asked a question, so I had to try and understand what you have been saying. You are saying I'm here in Ireland as a care worker, but the life here is better than Africa. We are not disputing that. We are not disputing that, and we are not even taking it down, but we are only explaining to people to say, yes, life is good everywhere, but it all depends with how you take it. What we are sharing here is based on what we have researched or what we have lived. So we don't want to misconstrue anyone or to give anyone half-baked information. That's why we are referring people to the websites. That is why we are referring people to verified links to say the only place where you can get this information and not be swindled of any money by anybody is for you to go on the website. But if you get someone who would say, I'm going to assist you and I'm going to do this and pay me some money, it's up to you. We are not saying you shouldn't do it. You can do it. And
And I think,
if you,
well,
right.
just to add on to what you're saying, Komatinash, is I think for our followers, our viewers, is the fact that we're here on the internet specifically to share information on how to migrate, how to move abroad, which means we are pro people moving abroad, but we want people to do it the right way. We want people to have the right information. We want people to go to the right websites, go to the right people, have an idea of how we live. Part and parcel of what I propagate and what I promote on my page is to say, I want to give you an insight into how I live, so that you see for yourself in a very relatable way to say, Mkoma Tinashe is in Ireland. He's got a wife and kids. Mkoma Tinashe went first, and then my guru came later with the children. Okay, so this is quite normal. This is quite expected that I may have to leave my spouse behind. I may have to leave my children behind so that I set up base. Okay, Mkoma Tinashe has said accommodation is expensive in Ireland. Okay, so I have to be prepared. That's why we're having this conversation. We are not here to discourage anybody. We are not here to make somebody doubt their journey, but we are here to give people information and make people believe the right things and to know that we are here. If they need more information, go on our pages. We continuously are going to be sharing. Go on YouTube. Mkoma Tinashe's YouTube is loaded. Go and ask questions there. If you've got any questions about Ireland, go there and bother him with questions, and he will make videos.
Yeah. So Christabel is asking, what courses would you recommend to upgrade myself? Because I can't do nursing since it's full time while I need to work and raise tuition fund. One thing I want to tell you, Christabel, the students who are here, we also do mentorship. And we take students. The students who are actually doing nursing here, they are actually working somewhere. They are working in other. They are working in care homes. Some of them they are working in different companies. While they are funding for their tuition. But there are a lot of courses. One thing that you need to do is more often visit the universities. For example, the UL University Hospital. It depends where you are. The university, the UL University. You can visit Cork University. There are different universities all over where you can be doing your courses online. Like us right now, we are doing the MSCs, but we are doing them online. And the ones that we are doing online, we are actually doing the lectures. Like I was telling you, Flo, that I'm doing my lectures. Like now, I'll
I
just have my
know.
2 hours of my lectures. If I'm at work, I just tell my boss because they've signed an agreement to say hey, I have to do it. So you just go online, you do what you want, and you proceed. So,
Mkuma Tinashe, now I've come up with a question. Mkuma Tinashe,
mhm.
I'll be quick because obviously the questions will keep coming. Keep the questions coming, guys. But I want to get a question before Mkoma Tinashe goes back to his business. Mkoma Tinashe, what can you say? I know it's an option. I know I've seen it elsewhere where they say, suppose you've got a degree from back home, you've got your degree in history, degree in whatever, and you want to do your master's. Disclaimer, I don't have a degree in anything, but I come and speak for people with such. Somebody has got a degree in something. Can they enroll on a master's degree and then start doing it online? Like you're saying, yours it's online. Maybe here and there, that's when you do face to face. Is it an option? I have got my degree from back home. Can I enroll in a master's? Suppose I've got my own money, or suppose I can afford funding.
So the thing is, it's
Oh
possible.
yeah, yeah.
It's very, very possible. One thing that I want to assure you, uh, do not look for information from us directly. What you should be looking for information, what you should be looking from us is just a direction of what you would want to do. Right? Why am I saying this? Myself, I enrolled with University of Suffolk for an MPH degree whilst I was still in Zimbabwe. I did a postgrad with Boston University, a postgrad in pediatric nutrition, right? It was sponsored by Nestle. But I tell you, distance is not a barrier. What you just need to do is go online. And when you're online, switch off everything that can swindle you or that can swindle your mind from focusing on what you want to get. Then take what you have. Like, for example, there are people who migrated from Zimbabwe when they were accountants, they were diesel plant fitters, they did different professions. What you just need to do is take your qualifications, put them in the system, right? When they are doing their recruitment. Then when they are doing their recruitment, that is the only way when you are going to take your African qualification and match it with what the Europeans are requiring. Because the thing is, if you came under K-Work, are you still going to like it when you are a carer or when you are a care assistant when you are in your 60s? Because they are going to say you retire maybe at 65, at 70, but you came here maybe when you are 40, you're only left with 25 years. So meaning to say, the first 5 years you are still trying because this money, the euros, the pounds, they are still coming, and your mind is still saying, "No, I'm getting this money," and you are in that state of shock to say, "This is the money." I will tell you, you spend 5 years trying to acclimatize, but the person you have left in Zimbabwe earning $400 with no rent could actually be doing better than you getting 1,000 a month of euros. I'm not discouraging anyone. I'm only trying to state things that can actually encourage you to think of upgrading yourself from wherever you are. Because the moment you upgrade, it's not the number it's not the figure that you get which gives you better life. If you look at a figure to say, I'm getting a 4 figure, I'm getting 4,000, I'm getting 10,000. You see yourself as someone who has got money, and you start taking journeys start taking journeys to France, start taking journeys to Italy, because you think you have got a 4 figure. But a person who is living with a 400 is not going there. But that person is buying goats. He's buying goats for $30. Just every month is buying 3 goats, which is 30, which is $90. So that person will be having 3 goats every month, meaning to say in a year that person is having more than 36 goats. So if you take the 36 goats, you put them there, right? You realize you with your 1,000 that you are getting on paper, and the taxman is also coming to get his there, and the landlord is also coming to get his there, then the car finance is also coming to get theirs there. You will be the same or you'll be lower than the person who is getting the 300 and putting his money or her money on gods.
Can I say this? Can I promise you we want a conversation on this one, on upskilling, investment, and more from you for our people? Because I mean, this can be a subject that can take us ages, because I'm already interested, I'm already thinking, I'm already glued. But I think I'll make time because I want to hear from you and the people want to hear from you.
No, that's fine. I'm seeing Jabulo is watching. Ushabu Jabulo. Zitin Lapo. No, it's good to see people, like watching as well. So the thing is, I'm only saying this to say, don't put yourself in too much pressure to do these things. But just to try to make sure you put pointers to say, if I'm going because I want to achieve 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So if you put targets to yourself, it's easy, and you are going to shun yourself from doing silly and stupid things.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for saying that.
Because,
okay, go on.
Sorry, I want to say something.
No,
because
it's all right. Go on.
You would realize that it's easy to drive a BMW here. It's easy to drive, any type of car here, because when you just start getting your salary, you will actually see those adverts coming to say, we've got this loan for you, we've got this loan for you, we've got this loan. Even in Zimbabwe, it's actually a safe haven in Zimbabwe for companies to say, we have got a furniture for civil servants, we have got what for civil servants. It's all for civil servants. Why are they not saying it's for minors? They know that you have got a stable salary. So they are going to pluck from that salary bit by bit, bit by bit, bit by bit, up until you end up having no fund to move. You see? So I've got also other group of nurses, like the primary care nurses who are in Zimbabwe. Some of them, they have moved here and they are working as care assistants, healthcare assistants and all that. If you move here as a care assistant, you are okay, but you may not be able maybe to progress like in the same way that you would want to do. So what do? Start doing other courses. Even if you are still in Zimbabwe, you can do even quality. Quality, they like it in Europe. So if you do quality and you come to university and you say, I did a diploma in quality improvement, then they will say, okay, let's see your transcript. Then they check on your transcript. They see you qualify for a postgrad. Then they'll say, okay, for now you can start with a postgrad certificate, then move to a postgrad diploma, then bridge to an MSc, which is 1 year. So 3 years, you are now having a master's in quality. So it's a matter of you juggling around to say, if I do this today, is it going to assist me? There are teachers who may say, I have moved as a care assistant, but I often tell people, you know where there's money, there's disability here. So if there's disability here, what do you need to do? Just go and do something that has to do with disability, mental health issues. They don't want to work in those jobs. You take that job. Like Christabel was asking to say she came with care and whatsoever. You can actually do disability care services. Just do it as a certificate initially. Pay for yourself, do it. Every night you'll be submitting your assignments. Then if you are so fond of making money, maybe to go for several shifts, just work 3 days, get that money, and you say, in 6 months, I'll be having my certificate. Then you are now feeling it in yourself that I can do these things. So what do you do next? You're able to apply for a diploma. You're able to apply for your degree. You're now able to do other things. But don't forget that you are already in your active stages. If you are in your towards your 40s, or maybe you are in your 40s, calculate yourself to say you have already worked in Zimbabwe for 14, 15 years. So don't forget those years that you have worked, because already those 14 years should have been productive. But maybe because we're not getting much, they are not going to be counted much by you. But in terms of the physical arena, the time when we are living, should be counted. So that time should be held as fruitful at any given time. So what I would say is, it's possible, guys, to migrate at any given time. But what I would say is, we can't mix all these things together in one session. We may end up confusing those who were listening to the nursing issues and whatsoever. But the nursing issue, the nursing fraternity, I tell you, is very fertile. For those who can still do it, you can even do it, because you can come here and then you start your program while you are working, and you start working, start doing. I have seen people doing it, and after doing it, you can get a very good lucrative salary. And I will tell you, just go online, check the salaries. You actually see, oh, okay, that's why these people have done this, that's why they have done this, that's why they have done this. But what is very important now is for you to prepare.
Right. Thank you so much, Mukoma Tinashe. And guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being with us. Thank you so much for your love and support. Guys, we have to end here so that we can bring Mukoma Tinashe again for further conversations. Guys, like I said, go and subscribe to his YouTube channel. Go and subscribe to my humble YouTube channel, guys. I love you already there. And I can't wait to share with you all the other projects that we've been doing behind the scenes, all the projects that Mukoma Tinashe has been doing. And Mukoma Tinashe and I, we are doing certain things behind the scenes. We can't wait to share with you. And YouTube is going to be buzzing with all that information. We want to see people come. We want to see people progress. We We want to see people unite and grow and succeed. As Zimbabweans, as Africans, that's the goal. Thank you so much, Mukoma Tinashi, for being here. But I have to go, or else Mkwasha will not be happy. The kids are nearly off school, so we have to go. And I can promise you guys, I'm going to bring Koma Tinashi again on this platform. Continue to pour the questions in. He will reply on this platform as well, and on his platform as well. YouTube, Tinashi Nyangari, YouTube, Florence Msekiwa 368. You will see me there. Go and subscribe, guys. I can't wait to see the numbers grow. Even today, when you watch this video, be kind enough to go and subscribe, and we'll share with you information. Koma Tinashi, as we end, don't forget to put in the links, and also put in the links for Sister Sobala in Ireland. A big shout out to you, Sister Sobala. We are grateful. We can't wait to see you share with us. Mukoma Tinashe, share all the links, all the people who are positive people who are in Ireland, England, people that are sharing information, put their handles in the comments. Guys, before I go, if you are in the diaspora and you feel you've got opportunities that you want us to share with our people, reach out to us. You could be someone with a page, someone with a profile. Come and share with us. We'll be glad to host you. We'll be glad to have a conversation with you, and we can help our community. We can help our people. That's the only thing we can do. We can't give them money. We can't give them anything else besides information. We cannot contribute in any meaningful way other than to see our people grow and succeed, see our people capitalize on the information that we share. And one of the things that I want to leave you with is to say, where there's a will, there's a way. It's possible. We did it. We didn't even deserve. We don't look like people who could live in Europe, but hard work and grace took us here. So we are here, and we'll continue to share these opportunities with all of you. We love you. Continue to support us. Continue to show us love. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Keep the comments coming. Keep the contributions coming. We do love you. We do love you. If you have anything that you feel you want us to talk about, my inbox is open. DM me. Put it in the comments. When I do share posts, just put in the comments to say, Flo, can you talk about this? We are coming to you with opportunities for caregivers in Ireland, caregivers in the UK. I promise you, we are continuing to give information, guys. Thank you so much for today. I love you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so, so much for your support, for your love. Continue to follow, subscribe, share, and keep the comments coming. We love you. Thank you. Bye for now.